Today we have a bit of a relatively large package here, which clearly does not fit on the table, so I have to open it next to me. But we bought a couple of binders and some deck boxes because we have quite a bit of cards here. I say we, but it's mostly me, that are currently just in these little deck boxes here. Like this one is just all of my extra Albus cards. They're just, well, Albus, some branded stuff. I don't know if Dogmatica and stuff is in here too, I believe so. And I thought, like, oh, you know what, it's finally time to do something about it, to clean these up, because it's just an absolute mess. And having them in these boxes is really difficult to get them, like, really look through them and stuff. We have a few of these binders because I actually like these duelist portfolios. They are actually Yu-Gi-Oh size, as well as they fit really nice in our little cabinet. And this one just has like some extra like deck cards, some old, some new, like some, I've got some Ball of Creeds in this cell. And then we have like a little hero binder here that has all of my hero stuff in. Well, this is one of my Duel Academy like binders, like a GX binder. Has like most of this stuff in, and then this is some Yubal stuff that isn't really, because these are obviously in my deck. And then we just have like a bunch of heroes because I like heroes, some Crystal Beast. This is mostly GX related things, and then just some collection on my end. And I thought, like, well, I kind of like these. They do get a little bit, poofy eventually, but I kind of like these. They look nice in the cabinet because they're all the same size, all the same shape. So we bought a couple of extra ones. I got one of Yugi and Kaiba. This is the 25th anniversary one. Probably gonna put some of our staples in there too, because right now our staple binder is kind of getting overflown, especially with like things like Rarity Collection and stuff like that. Also, in all fairness, we tend to not really use it as much. We just kind of put our leftover cards in there because it's like we don't have a lot of space for other ones. We do have some other binders, but those are more for like personal collection and stuff like that. And obviously I got an Albus one too, for all of my Albus cards that are in here. I've kind of been thinking of this one to get for quite some time, and then I kind of always was like on the edge because I'm not a huge fan of the back of this one. Because I just don't like the back of this one, but I'll see to deal with that. I don't know, I'll put some stickers on it or something. And then obviously the main reason as to why I bought the other two along was for this one. Because this will be my Yubal binder for all of my extra cards that I have in here, because I have a lot of them. Along with that, I also bought the sleeves. I don't think I'll really be using them, but I did kind of like them, so I thought I'd get them along. And the deck box, which is, this one is kind of nice. It has a Winkaribo, a Spirit of Yubal, and then a Spirit of Neos on the other side, and then basically the sleeves on the back. I'm not a huge fan of this side, but I like these two sides here. This is clearly kind of like a, I guess it's more like a Jaden deck box than it is anything else. But a little bit on a side note, I also got the Albus one, which is Mirror Jade on one side, and then it's kind of like diagonally split because this is still blue, and then it's Lupalian on the back. I'm not entirely sure why they went for these two, other than obviously this is kind of like, I guess you would call it Albus's ultimate form, and this is Albus form when he absorbs Albus, which is a little bit of a weird one, but yeah, we got some. These come with a dividers too. I don't know if this one does. Oh my god, this one is way bigger than the other one.
Yeah, I saw that. It says 100 plus on the...
Well, I clearly did not pay attention to it when I bought these, because I did not know. I thought these were gonna be the same size. I have like a hero one as well, like a skyscraper one. I don't know what size that is, because it's a bit hard to get right now because we are currently cleaning up stuff. Well, I'm cleaning up stuff. I'm gonna move this over to you. I'm gonna move these over to you. And I'll see if I can open these. I don't know how to open these because this one doesn't even come with a flap. Do these come with flaps? Does this one come with a flap? No. Oh. Thought these came with flaps open, but just because I kinda already expected to need scissors, took the scissors. There we go. I will keep these little plastic baggies just in case I have to move them around or something like that. I just put them back in, and at least it stops the cards from slipping out, or this from opening up, and the dust and stuff from coming in. I will move these over here. I've always had some issues with some of these binders, is that I do have to say that I feel like some of these are a little bit lazy, but it's lazy in a different way sometimes, because this one has some like cards and like little cutouts in the back here. I don't know if that's that visible. This is like the Dual Academy card. There's a Flame Ringman down here, but at least that's in the background. When I have my hero binder, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, I was a little bit disappointed by how lazily done this was on the back. I felt like it could have had like a bit more, I don't know, maybe a couple of them, and there's a couple of good ones that I can think of, because they will only really take cutouts from cards most of the time, and I'm thinking of things like Generation Next. That would be a really nice one to have on there, or I don't know, Wake Up Your Elemental Heroes, even though half the cards on there are Elemental Heroes. We have Hero Kid, pretty sure there's a Winkaribo on there for some reason too, which is, I don't like the card. I like the card for the effect, I don't like the card for what it looks like, but that's besides the point. We got the Ultimate Nightmare, the Loving Defender Forever on the back. Again, I hate that name. But even this is like, it is just a cut out or a copy paste of their cards. That's probably the only issue I have with them, is that I feel like their art is relatively lazy. But other than that, I do really like these binders just because of what they are. I kind of wish they were, I don't want them to be standard size, I just kind of wish they were ever so slightly bigger. Because when we have a couple of cards here, I just, as I said, got some of my extra Yubel stuff. When you put them in, this is fine, but over here, oh, I guess it's over here. When you have two of them, they do tend to move over each other a little bit, and it's kind of hard to get them out with sleeves on, even though this one does feel ever so slightly bigger. Is that just me thinking that? Because I'm...
standard size.
Some Digimon memory counters, which the Digimon card fits in, but if you sleeve it, it doesn't. You can put cards in there and sleeve, but I don't recommend that. Because I've already noticed that like sometimes those little what do they call them, anti-slip patches or whatever, you can you can sometimes see them on back of cards if you put them in there unsleeved, or even on some sleeves if they've been in there for a long time. Some sleeves do pick it up. I kind of feel like these pages are like a little bit bigger than these. Yeah, see, because this is in here. Maybe it's because of like there being more cards in here, but this does not stay in place. This is also an old one. This was funny enough, this is one that was given to me for free, funny enough, by someone in the locals I went to. I was given a lot of stuff for free and don't really know why. I mean, I kind of do know why, but better not go in on that. But yeah, these feel a little bit smaller than the one underneath. I don't know if size-wise they're the same. Now this one is on the, yeah, this one is on the right side, the other one starts on the left side. Weird. But this is actually, funny enough, this is not going to be visible on camera. I don't even know how to put this to make it visible on camera. And this could 100% be because this has like a lot of cards in it. But the bottom one, this one is like a smidge, like I would say like maybe 2 millimeters bigger than the top one.
Yeah.
It's not much, but it is definitely slightly bigger. I hope it doesn't make too big of a difference when I put them in the, you know, in the thing over there in the cabinet, that one of them doesn't start sticking out. Okay, so we got the Albus one over here. This one was technically I've been doubting this one for a long time now, just because of the fact that I'm not a huge fan of the back. But I kind of collected the Albus, like, I guess, lore cards, like all of the cards that have anything to do with him, for quite some time, even though I've put a couple of them back for sale because I was getting a bit too annoyed by stuff. I get easily irritated. And, well, I guess I finally ended up buying it anyway, so that I can then just put all of my cards in here. I believe they're at least all the same amount of cards, right? 180, 180, and those older ones are 180 as well. Something that I did notice on this binder is that it actually doesn't sit in the corner over here, not properly. It's been shoved out. I don't know how, because these are pretty solid in there. This one is actually completely fine. And then on the other side, this one has like, it's kind of like a little nip here, like, yeah, it has a little nip here in the bottom corner, and then the top corner isn't sitting in properly, unlike the other ones, which is a little bit annoying because these are new. Obviously, they were still in they were still in their plastic. I had to cut it open, as you know, should be shown, which does, you know, annoy me a little bit. It kind of reminds me of the time where we opened up the Battle of Legend boxes and we were not given a dice in one of our, like, we bought an entire case of them, and one of the boxes in there did not come with a dice, which is actually relatively annoying. But in all fairness, we did contact Konami about it, stating like, hey, what the hell is going on? And they did deal with it. I mean, we were given a dice in return. Not the dice we wanted, but it was a dice nonetheless. But whilst we were sitting here, we did, however, notice these are only 50 sleeves, which is a bit of a strange thing considering, I mean, these are like 50 tournament legal sleeves, which is all nice and all, but what if I run a 60 card deck? But you also have to keep in mind, especially for, you know, little tournaments here, that people do use a side deck. I know that back in the day I didn't really use a side deck because I have a bit of an iffy feeling when it comes to a side deck. Why these packs are still 50, I don't understand. I could understand 60 and be like, hey, you know what, put your side deck in other sleeves and then just swap the sleeves out as your side deck. Fine. It's still relatively annoying, but at the same time I also understand it because the cards in your main deck will see more usage than the cards in your side deck, meaning that it might be a little bit cheating when you side deck in new, like, unused sleeves in a deck of used sleeves. You kind of figure out what your side deck cards are. These sleeves, in all fairness, they are not, like, they look nice, 100%. They look, you know, these the Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves in general, I mean, some of them a bit better than others, but they generally look pretty decent. The quality, on the other hand, is kind of trash. I have some World Qualifier sleeves from quite some time ago. Is there a year on this? I don't remember when this was. I've already had to toss some in the trash because they were destroyed. I won these, I don't know, in one of the qualifiers. Not gonna lie, I don't really care that much. But I never used these as my main deck. These were my extra deck sleeves, and I've used most of them because I have multiple decks, so I would use them for multiple decks. And these are, I don't know if that's that visible. This is like really hard to show apparently. There we go. These just kind of tend to peel loose like here. It gets worse when you shuffle these, obviously. But yeah, we have, you know, 50 sleeves now. It's, I mean, I was probably not going to use them for main deck anyway, but it's still a little bit frustrating to see that these are only 50 instead of being, I don't know, 60, or maybe even be very generous and give us 75. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the little thingy that we have here. Now, this doesn't really count in here. This was just to show off some sleeve problems. I don't know how to deal with this one here now, because like this is definitely kind of like sticking out here, yet not fully proper on the corners. I don't know, because like it's gonna bother me every time I see this.